Hi students, welcome to your math lesson of the day. Before we hop into Big Ideas Math, I want us to review coins again. But we could also make a graph of how much coins that we do have, so we can even make a tally chart of this example too. So we have Q for quarter, P for penny, and then N for nickel. So if I'm going to make a nice tally chart, we have Q and P. So we have Q for quarter, N for nickel, and then P for penny. And I'm going to count how much change that we have all together. So we have 1 quarter. So I'm going to make one tally to represent 1 quarter. And then how many nickels do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 nickels. So this is what we do. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we put a slash to represent 5. And then we have 1 penny. So if we look over here, we see that the nickel has the most coins in this example, and then quarter and a penny is tied for last place. But Ms. Schultz wants us to figure out how much change does she have today in this example. Now, shout out how much is 1 quarter worth. 1 quarter is worth 25 cents. So then we have one of those. And then how many nickels? How much is 1 nickel worth? Shout it out. 1 nickel is worth 5 cents. So we can even count by fives in our example. So we know a quarter is 25. And a nickel is 5 cents. And we can count by fives. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We have 5 nickels, which also ends up being also 25 cents, like a quarter. And then we just have 1 penny. And how much is 1 penny worth? 1 cent. I'm going to put 1 cent by our penny. I'm going to erase the 5 cents down here. So it has a little more room. It's kind of pushed to the side. Okay. But Ms. Schultz is going to calculate how much change that we have in total. So what I like to do, I like to add by the least place value, which is the 1's place, and then work my way up. So we have 5 plus 5. And what's 5 plus 5? If we have 5 fingers on one hand and 5 on the other, how many fingers do we have all together? We have 10. And then 10 plus 1 will be what? It will be 11. So would I write 11 like this and then add on to the tens place? No. So when you have, like, for example, if you have like an answer that's more than 2 digits in your ones place, you're going to move the tens place in your answer in the ones place and move it to the tens place. 1. So you leave your answer in the ones place, which is 1 because we have 11, and then we move the answer to the tens place, which is also 1. And so then we need to add it with our tens place group. So we have 2 plus 1 is what? Is 3, and 3 plus 2 is 5. Ooh, I accidentally erased some of it. Is 5. And then we have 0 in our next place value, but we have a total of 51 cents. And we can't forget our cents sign. It's important when we're doing change. But then if we have an answer, for example, I'm going to say, Ms. Schultz, put in $1 in the corner. Here is a green dollar because $1 is worth $1 is worth $1 if you have a $1 bill. So this $1 bill came, so we have now $1.51. And I'm going to change my cent symbol to the dollar sign. So we use our dollar sign when we have, money that's over $1. But if you have money that's less than $1, you use the cent sign like this. Okay, and we've reviewed some of coins and change, but let's hop on over to 11.5 in Big Ideas Math. So in this example, you might have to convert, so for example, it might give you a tally graph, and then you might have to draw a bar graph on one example. So it's very similar to 11.4 in Big Ideas, but this time it wants you to expand on your results on your problem. So for example, how many more students like butterflies than birds? So in this example, you're going to subtract from the results from butterfly from birds. But in the future, whenever you guys are doing math problems like this, always look at the key because, you know, for picture graphs, for example, it's not always going to be equal to 1. It could be to a different number. So it's very important to look at the key before you do anything else. But you're going to look at the key, and we do have one student for smiley face. So how many students like butterfly? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 students that like butterflies. And then how many for birds? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for birds. So if we hold up 7 fingers and then we take away 6, how many would we have left over? We would just have 1 because 7 minus, if you take away 6 from 7, you get 1. And then now it's asking how many students were asked in this poll. So now we have to count the total number of people that voted in all. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in bird. And then we have 4 in bat. So 6 plus 4 is what? Is 10. So for butterfly, we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 students that were asked in total. And let's check our work. And we did that correct. But it's mostly on this, in 11.5, it's going to ask you to look at 2 categories and then most likely to subtract the difference between the 2 categories to see which one was higher and which one was least. And then it's probably going to ask you the total number of students that voted. So you have to add all of the total categories as your sum, as your answer. And if you have any additional questions about pictographs, tally graphs, bar graphs, please let Ms. Schultz know, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. But without further ado, you guys can go ahead and practice on your own on Class Dojo or in your guys' math books, and I will talk to you later until our next math lesson. Adios!